they'll lynch you. But he did, and he laughs at
Yes, everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. But it is your West Ham Daily. We bring you a selection of the news that's happened over the weekend. We've got London Stadium news and we've got an international roundup. How our boys did during the international break. Was technically it's still on until when's it for now, actually? I think the last game's tomorrow or Wednesday or something like that. Anyway, so they're still on international duty, but some will be back because they've played their 2 games already. Let's start with the London Stadium news because it's 2 stories, but they sort of merge. That's it. Merge into one. It's Monday morning. I do apologise. So apparently West Ham are embroiled in a multi-million-pound secret legal battle with the LLDC, the owners of the London Stadium, who have spent more than £7 million of taxpayers' money already on lawyers' fees in tussles with the club, apparently. This new and secret spat between the public-funded London Legacy Development Corporation, the LLDC, and West Ham is ongoing and will add to that figure even more. It could reach the cost of the London Stadium to the taxpayer could reach £1 billion by the end of this decade. Lynn Garner, who's the CEO of the LLDC, told a recent London Assembly meeting that there was a continual significant financial and legal dispute with West Ham. Now, sources have confirmed this revolves around how much money the LLDC are due from the investment that Danny Kudrinski made back in November 2021. He paid around £169 million, I believe, for 27% stake in West Ham. Under the terms of the stadium lease, West Ham had to pay LLDC a fee if the club's owners financially benefited from the move to the stadium within 10 years of signing the agreement. Obviously, the embarrassment clause, which actually finished, I think it was last week, I think it's the 23rd of March, was the 10 years since the signing of the initial lease. Now, but apparently the Kudrinski investment was made inside those 10 years that began with West Ham when we signed the lease. And obviously we paid a LLDC a penalty clause worth £2.6 million. But the LLDC, who have repeatedly said the West Ham tenancies are drain on the public purse, believe they are contractually due more money than that. The exact sum is not in the public domain just yet, but is due, but it is understood the agreement between the parties specifies a figure or percentage that the LLDC are due as a stadium premium amount. Apparently it's, as I said, it's cost over £7 million worth of legal fees, which the taxpayer has paid. And, as you know, we receive a number of free services as part of our £2.5 million annual rent. We don't pay anything towards stewarding, heating, maintenance, cleaning, equipment like goalposts, nets, nor do we pay the catering staff. And we take a small percentage of the food and drink revenues as well, but only a small percentage. So obviously there are financial advantages to West Ham with having the Olympic Stadium or the London Stadium. But as I said, there's this ongoing battle. The government used £486 million worth of money to build the stadium and spent the majority of an additional £274 million after the games to convert it into a multi-purpose stadium, so to speak. And we paid apparently £15 million of that, with Newham Council paying £40 million of that. On top of that, there was losses. They've made losses every year, and large chunks of those losses are effectively spent subsidising West Ham, to be honest. And so we'll wait to see. But there does seem to be this, and as I said, it could hit £1 billion in terms of by 2029, in terms of what it's cost the taxpayer if they don't obviously hand over the keys or do something with the stadium, in terms of if LLDC continue to have the stadium under its control. Now, the reason why this is interesting is because of news that came out yesterday that we could have some noisy neighbours potentially joining the London Stadium posse, and that being Chelsea. Now, according to several reports yesterday and today, Chelsea are considering turning to West Ham and the London Stadium as a temporary home while they plan to build or redevelop or completely build a new ground on the site at Stamford Bridge. The Blues are looking to build a £2 billion stadium at Stamford Bridge and have considered Craven Cottage, Twickenham, Wembley, alongside the Hammers home as options. Obviously, there's loads of hurdles to overcome before Chelsea's planning permission receives any sort of approval. But the London Stadium, which is apparently, as the crow flies, 11 miles away from Stamford Bridge, is being considered if they go ahead and build this new ground. Although West Ham would likely pay West Ham an arm and a leg to play at the stadium while a new ground is under construction, it won't quite sit right with many fans from both sides of the fence, to be honest. We're fierce rivals, and I can't see this happening. And obviously, it'd be very strange when hopefully we're still in the Premier League by then, and we will play a away game to Chelsea, and the home fans or the West Ham fans will be in the away end. It'd be very strange. Like we know the way, but it'd be very strange. And so the reason why the Blues are so keen on London Stadium are its relatively close proximity, and the trans links, large capacity, and the fact is we already hold other sports as well. So, yeah, from a West Ham perspective, we'd rather them play at Twickenham or Wembley, to be honest, or Craven Cottage. But and I think part and parcel of this news is in relation to the spat I previously spoke about. So I don't consider I wouldn't consider Chelsea moving into the London Stadium for it could be 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years potentially. But it may be a power play by the LLDC either to give us more money, so we maintain our sole occupancy status, or just just a power play, just because try and finish this legal battle, or us to pay up our money that we owe them apparently, or they believe we own, in order to not get Chelsea in with us. I don't know. It's a strange predicament. It's a predicament, obviously, it's of our own making, in all honesty, but it is what it is, and so we'll see what happens. But I thought it's quite interesting those two stories came out at the same time. Obviously, we're currently in the midst of our international break. And a lot of the players have been out playing for their national side, so I thought I'd give you a little roundup as well. Hammers headlines today. We've got a few transfer rumours and actually some boosts ahead of the weekend in terms of our relegation rivals, who a few of them got injured. Their big players got injured during the international break. Touch wood, at the moment we're all right. But on Saturday, two of our first teamers went head to head as Morocco played Brazil. And Nayef Segued's Morocco celebrated a famous 2-1 victory over Lucas Paqueta's Brazil, which was a really good match, actually. If anyone watched the highlights, please do. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And as I said, Morocco carrying on from where they left off in the World Cup, in all honesty. It was De Gea's 31st appearance for the Atlas Lions, and Paqueta made his 40th appearance for Brazil. Elsewhere on Saturday, Tio Kira was a late substitute in Germany's 2-0 victory against Peru in Mainz. Germany are hosting the Euro 2024s, so obviously they don't qualify. But it was a clean sheet for them. And interestingly, one of West Ham's linked transfer rumour targets in the summer, Nicholas Volkberg, scored a double to give the nation plenty for a platform for victory. Back on our shores, Ben Johnson played for England 21s. He came off the bench to earn his 5th cap in a 4-0 win against France. Divine Mbama was unable to prevent England under 19s from falling to a 1-0 defeat to Iceland in the under-19s European Championship qualifier elite round. Nice and easy. In the same tournament, Callum Marshall was on target from the spot as they under-19s Northern Ireland slipped to a 3-1 defeat to Romania under-19s, and at an under-17 level, England and Northern Ireland faced off in the qualifiers, with Josh Briggs starting for Northern Ireland, and they lost 2-0. And obviously, yesterday, we had some more people playing. In terms of the early kickoff, Declan Rice contributed to England's second consecutive win of the March international window, following a 2-0 victory over Ukraine. 93% pass completion rate for Mr. Rice in that game. Only Harry Kane bettered him with 100%. But I suppose most days were like it's not backs, in all honesty. Elsewhere, Emerson played the full 90 minutes on Sunday evening as Italy beats... Who did they play? Was it Malta? I think they played Malta. It was his first international start since defeat to Argentina in June 2022. So, a good sort of almost a year since his last international. That's one shy of 30 appearances for Emerson. He had a good complete. It was his pass completion rate, 86%. Not bad. Although it was against Malta, but they still won 2-1. Elsewhere, Mr. Skamaka was a substitute. Yep, he came on 20 minutes to spare, and that's his first. Was that his first feature from his country, as he did in his first out? Oh no, ignore me. But yeah, so obviously he didn't come on for the previous game when England played, because they had that Argentinian bloke, didn't they? Who plays in Mexico instead of an Italian. And funny enough, we talk about that with our Hammers, our ex-player that we interviewed for the live stream that we're doing on Friday. Ex-Hammer, we speak about Skamaka, we speak about how frustrated he was that he wasn't picked instead of the Argentinian Mexican player, he was called by this ex-player. But anyway, check that out. That's going to be funny. We'll put a few teaser clips up a bit later on. And that's it. That's it today, my friends. Plenty coming up on the channel. We've got Hammers headlines coming up, a couple of transfer rumours, talking about actually how well the international break could have suited West Ham's relegation battle, with some major injuries to Southampton and Leeds players as well. But as some of you would have noticed, on Friday we announced the start of the hashtag Bring a Quid campaign for the Iron Sport Food Banks, and we're going to be doing a live 24-hour stream on Friday, starting at 5 o'clock UK time, all the way till Saturday. And a little video just to end. So appreciate you looking at it and obviously supporting it as always. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends. Come on, you Lions. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye. So April is a very busy time for West Ham, but also it's going to be a very busy time for the London Stadium. We've got 6 games at the London Stadium. I thought it was only 5 for us. No, it's actually 6 games. We have 4 Premier League games. We have Southampton on the 2nd, Newcastle on the 5th, Arsenal on the 16th, and Liverpool on the 26th of April. We also have our quarter-final second leg Europa Conference League match against KAA Ghent on the 20th. And also we have the FA Youth Cup semi-final match against Southampton. The first time we've reached this stage is 1999. That's been played on Thursday the 6th, the day immediately after the Newcastle game. So if we added up all these attendances, that would be approximately 325,000 people attending London Stadium. Granted, many will be attending multiple matches, season ticket holders and whatnot, but still there's a lot of people in the London Stadium in a very short amount of time. Now, the Iron Sport Food Banks, you may be aware of them. They've been collecting at home games for a couple of seasons now by the Aquatic Centre on the way to Stratford. They collect on behalf of underprivileged people in the Newham area, as well as surrounding areas to the Newham borough, and have been supplying food banks for several years now, since December 2019, I believe. They are in desperate need for our help. Food banks are being used more and more as the cost of living crisis gets worse and worse, and people are turning to food banks just to survive, which means they are needed more and more, and they need our help. They need our support, and they need our money. Now, if only 1% of those 325,000 people give us £1 and pop it in the bucket for the lads on the by the Aquatic Centre, that would be, by the end of the month, 3,250 quid. Doesn't sound like a lot, does it? But through our association with the His Church charity, they take your £1 and magically change it into £5 worth of food. So maybe we end up by end of April, with £5,000 worth of match day collections That would equate to almost £25,000 worth of food that we could distribute to the most needy in the Newham and surrounding areas. So it only takes £1 to make a massive difference. So that's why we're launching our Bring a Quid campaign, and that starts in April. I've got a few words from some of our supporters in terms of the launch.
Hi, it's Declan Rice here. Iron Supporting Food Banks Bring a Quid campaign launches in April. Please bring a quid for a worthy cause.
Hi, I'm Kevin Nolan and I'm supporting the Irons Supporting Food Banks #Bring a Quid campaign this April. Bring a quid to the next home game and drop it in the ISF buckets. Come on, you Irons.
So the campaign launches officially in April in time for the Southampton game on the 2nd. We're going to be launching that with a 24-hour live stream on the West Ham Network YouTube channel. That starts on Friday the 31st of March at 5 p.m. in the UK. And obviously we're going on to Saturday. It's all ready for the Sunday game. The stream itself will have ex-players, celebrity fans, we'll have presenters from other West Ham fan channels, we'll have opposition fans on there, there'll be quizzes, there'll be prizes to be won. It will be a really fun event, so we hope that you can join us for that event. But the main focus is our Bring a Quid campaign, which launches in April. Hopefully you bring a quid to the next game and we can make a massive difference for those less privileged than us. Thanks.